Hi folks, hope you all had a good weekend and well done for all the work that was submitted last week. This week we're moving on to the next section of the dynamics in space topic to learn about forces. You'll notice that you learned about some of this content in S1. You can see from the success criteria that you should be able to state the effects of forces on an object. You should be able to describe friction and its effects. You should be able to describe ways of increasing and decreasing friction. You should be able to describe balanced and unbalanced forces. And you should be able to calculate the resultant force on an object. And the word resultant basically just means the overall force on an object, which we'll look at a bit later. As usual, there will be a checklist that you can find on the Teams page and in the Files tab. The first task is an introduction recap task on Quizlet, which you can access by clicking on the link here. When you tap on the link, it will take you to this screen, and it's basically just a quick matching game to recap some of the key things that you probably already know about forces. And all you do is match up the word with the definition. The next tasks are on forces and friction. So first of all, have a look at the video by clicking on this link here. And it will take you to a YouTube video telling you about friction, and it's just a quick 2 or 3 minute video, quick introduction on friction. After watching the video, you're going to click on the next link, which is here, and it's going to take you to a page on an app called Padlet. So hopefully when you open that up, you should see this screen here. And what we're looking for you to do is to add one comment under each of the 4 headings. And it's pretty self-explanatory looking at the headings. So give us one advantage of friction. And you can add a comment by tapping on the plus, and you'll see the comment box appears at the bottom of the screen. So we want one advantage of friction, one disadvantage, one way to increase friction, and one way to decrease friction. And you add your comments by tapping on the plus underneath each of the 4 headings. They're totally anonymous, so we won't be able to see whose answers belong to who. Once you've completed those 2 tasks on forces and friction, you can then complete the forces and friction worksheets. You'll find them also in the Files tab. And when you open up, you'll see the summary sheets here. So you can copy and complete these into your jotter, or you can download a copy of the sheets and write your answers in the spaces. So a little bit on the left about forces and their effects. On the right, introduction and friction. And then on the second sheet, we've got a bit about increasing and decreasing friction. And all you're doing is underneath each picture, you're ticking the box for whether the picture shows increase friction or whether it's showing decreasing friction. And underneath the tick boxes, you can write a quick note to explain what's going on in each picture. And then finally, a little bit about air resistance and streamlining. So explaining streamlining and how it can be useful in some situations. Next set of tasks is on balanced and unbalanced forces. Your first task here is to tap on the link that's going to take you to BBC Bitesize, where you're going to read the information and watch the short video that's available there. When you click on the link, it should take you to this page, where you'll see the heading Balanced and Unbalanced Forces, some diagrams giving you some examples, and here in the middle of the page you'll see that there should be a video appearing on balanced and unbalanced forces. So read through the information and look at those examples. Next, you're going to complete the balanced and unbalanced forces worksheet. Take away that word twice. And that's going to be similar to the forces and friction worksheet. So again, you can copy and complete filling in the blanks. Balanced forces, you can see, are forces equal in size but act in opposite directions. And obviously unbalanced forces are the opposite, where one force is greater than another force. The word resultant gets mentioned on this page. So basically, resultant is the overall force on the object. And to explain what that means for some of the examples is the top one here. You can see there's 5 newtons to the left and 5 newtons to the right. So the resultant force would be 0, because if forces are going the opposite direction from each other, we would subtract them from each other to get their overall effect, or their resultant effect. So 5 minus 5 would give us 0, and it means the object would be at rest. In the second example, you can see that there's 2 newtons to the left this time, 5 newtons to the right again. These don't cancel out to give us 0. What we would have instead is 5 take away 2, and that means the resultant force would be 3 newtons to the right, because the force on the right, the 5 newtons, is greater than the 2 newtons on the left. So the bigger force is acting to the right, which means the resultant, the overall effect, would be to the right. Once you've taken that note and filled in the blanks, you can try the little questions on the right hand side, where you're working out the size of the resultant force and the direction of the resultant force. And it should be straightforward enough to work that out. You can also tick the box underneath each one to tell whether it's balanced or unbalanced. After that, you can then do the balanced and unbalanced forces questions. And these are similar to the ones that you've just seen on the worksheet. All you're going to do is you're going to work out the resultant force on each of the blocks that are shown on the sheet. So there's not many questions, pretty straightforward. And again, make sure that we're given both the size of the resultant force as well as the direction of the resultant force. And the last task of the week will be the assignment quiz. It will be added later in the week so that everyone's got time to watch the videos and try the other work first. We've noticed a few people are still going straight to the assignment without looking at the rest of the work first. So please, just to stress again that the assignment is not a test. You can ask for help with the assignment and with the other tasks. Please don't go straight to the quiz without doing the other work first, or without asking for help and end up with a low score for the quiz. There's no point in going straight to the assignment quiz without knowing how to do the questions first, so please don't do that. There will be a live drop-in session this week. You can join and work through some of the tasks during the meeting and get help as you do them, or you can join to ask a question or just listen in if you don't want to speak. There'll be a link on the Teams page to join the meeting at the time that it starts, and you can join the meeting any time while the meeting is ongoing. As usual, ask for help on Teams at any time and we can help you out. And I hope you all have a good week.